Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The Ukrainians successfully attacked the railway system, or the Russian railway system in Crimea. It seems like using drones, and a train derailed in Crimea. And what's interesting about this is not that the Ukrainians were capable of doing this, because they already that they have proven that they're capable of doing this and hit targets deep inside Russia by Moscow, mind you. So hitting Crimea is not a big deal. It seems like being closer, and the air defense, the Russian air defense, is sometimes incapable of catching everything, or however you want to look at it. But anyway, it was a successful attack from the Ukrainians, and I'm concerned not with the attack. I'm concerned with how the British, the free world, justifies attacking a railway, train tracks, where a train derailed, as being a strategic hit, a necessary hit. And by doing that, they extrapolate, how should I put it, they turn from an attack on a civilian infrastructure. They say it's not a civilian because the military also uses that railway to supply weapons. Therefore, it's a legitimate target. But if you think that way, when do you stop? Because if I think like that, the military also breathes air. So do the civilians. You know what I mean? Are chemical weapons allowed, for instance? No. All right, well, let's move on. How about bridges? Are bridges allowed to be blown up? Why not? I mean, they help, transport ammunition and troops over them. How about regular roads? How about city roads? How about cities? Because, cities produce food, armament, clothing, all these things necessary for an army. And some military might be stationed next to a city. Remember how the Americans, actually it was the BBC, justified, or at least reported, maybe not justified, but reported the first drop of an atomic bomb in the history of this humanity. It was on Hiroshima on the 6th of August 1945. They said, this is a reporting, I listened to it. BBC. The Americans dropped an atomic bomb over military infrastructure in Hiroshima. Something like this. I don't remember if it was infrastructure. I can't remember the word right now, but something like that. It was a military equipment, something like that. Well, we know where they dropped it, right in the center of Hiroshima. It was not anything about installation, military installations, I think the word they used over there. So you see, and they justified it with all this, helping save lives, and Japanese would have been crazy, never surrender. So we gonna do this to them, and they will surrender because there's gonna be no Japanese to surrender. That was the logic that now intellectuals agree with that logic. If you take that logic and put it in Putin's terms, he can save lives by committing such a crime. But he's not doing that. Anyway, so let's move back here. So by doing that, you can justify attacking a lot of things that are unattackable. You can claim, for instance, that the military uses electricity, which it does. That means would be legitimate to hit a, let's say, water dam that also supplies the cities, the civilians. And then would be, and remember, this logic was used by NATO general in Yugoslavia when they bombarded this kind of military infrastructure. So you tell me, by extrapolating, by exaggerating, pushing it further, that means when these guys are crying, oh, the Russians are attacking civilian infrastructure, they attack this and that, well, they can always say, well, the children are the future of a nation. So does that mean that killing children is justified? No. But you see, because the children will become maybe at one point military personnel and they will kill us. So you see how this stupidity of trying to justify an attack on a railway which brings people as well on it. Oh, the military use it as well. The same roads, the same, and so on. I already made my case on that one. So let's look at these 3 or 4 articles where they justify the attacks. So we start with this one, and this comes from the Ukrainska Pravda, today, the 19th of May, 2023. I was about to say 1923. Explosion on Crimean railway will disrupt weapon supply to Russia's Black Sea Fleet, UK intelligence. So UK intelligence takes only one piece of the puzzle, and this is the weapon supplies. How about human supply? How about food supply? How about resources supply for the city? No, we just focus on this one. That tells you how honest this guy. Okay, let's go next. And they say here, and they tell you where they did it. They say, hey, they supply weapons, particular caliber missiles to the Black Sea Fleet. That's why. How about food? No. How about people? How about resources? No. No. How about medicine? No. No. Okay, because that's how they want to frame the conversation. That's what it is. And then they tell us that, hey, the port of Sevastopol. So, again, Russia will try to repair this line quickly, but the incident will disrupt the supply of goods and possibly weapons, including that caliber cruise missiles. Goods, that's it. No food. The food would look very bad if they put food and other things over there. So that's the first one. The second one is this, coming from Ukrainska Pravda. Drone breaks overhead lines in Crimea, and they show us the location over there. I have another map to show you what. It's only one railway coming this way, the tracks. So, an unknown drone has fallen, just dropped out of the sky, on railway tracks in Crimea, breaking the overhead lines. So this is according to Baza, the drone fell near the Solone Ozero station in the Zankoy district of Crimea on the night of 18 per 19 of May. So, let's see, what is that? Where is the Solone Ozero? So they say it's somewhere here, the north of Crimea, and I find it under a different name. It's right here. So Solone Ozero. So right here, somewhere here, they blew it. Now look, this black thing is in the railroad track. You see, it goes out here, and it's the only track that goes up here. There's nothing here, and another one is on Kerch Bridge. I know they have it on the Kerch Bridge. Right here, they have it black line here. You see, where is that? Kerch Bridge, right here. So it goes this way. So these are the two, and I think probably somewhere on the north right here could be another one. Should be right here. Right here, that's another one. Red Rover, come over. So this is another one. So there's 3. So they blew up right here, and a train derailed right here by Simferopol. Let's go to the next article right here. UK Defense Ministry, train derailed near Simferopol, blocking rail to Russian Navy based in occupied Crimea. So see, they block rail to Russian Navy base. All right, see what this is. Simferopol, it's only going to the rail. You see how they make it only military? Look here. So this is the rail, Simferopol, right here. So where's the base again? Where's the base again? You see this black thing? This goes straight to Sevastopol, right here. So where's the base? Somewhere here. Okay, but this lane does not go, only blocking rail to Russian Navy base in occupied Crimea. That's all. I think it destroys this will not get anything by rail, including the military. That's true. But the same thing is with destroying other things. What I'm trying to say is, it's dangerous when you try to justify this kind of attacks by just framing it to a little thing. Oh, it's a Russian Navy base, that's why we blew it. Oh, it's okay, it's just right here. Drone breaks overhead lines in Crimea, right there in the north. Oh, it's okay because that's going to the military, providing the Russians with ammunition and all that. The same here. Explosion in Crimea disrupt weapon supply to Russia's Black Sea Fleet. Okay, the same thing. This is dangerous, but hey, this is what they do. They all do. But what I'm trying to say is when you hear these guys, the truth tellers, clock, in the West, telling you that the Russians blew up a, I don't know, railroad track somewhere in Lviv, coming from, I don't know, from Poland with some supply from NATO, and everybody say, oh my God, just think of this one. Just think of this one. And remember, this go straight to Sevastopol. Well, anyway, it's just a successful strike from the Ukrainians. That's war, but I don't like how these guys framed it. You know what I mean? I don't have anything against, how should I put it, fighting a war, but I don't like when people are weasels and they call a crime here not a crime, but here a crime calling it a crime. I don't think that's fair, just, and honest. And they say, well, Emil, that's naive. Well, I know it's naive, but if we think like that, we call it truth and, how should I put it, a better society, a better situation, call it a naive, then we're not going to do anything. It's naive to think that there's no, how should I put it, corruption in the justice system. Well, if we think like that, then we're not going to do anything about it. Like you say, it's naive, Emil, to think that after you take a shower, you washed your clean, because you still have things probably dirty somewhere. So don't take a shower. Is that the point? Is that a stupid analogy? No, it's not. We have to fight, and we have to expose these interpretations of crimes or not crimes. Well, was that justified? I don't know. I just wanted to show you how these guys are reporting that one. But if the other guys are doing it, they will be reported as, criming, destroying children. Children will not have food and water and all that, and clothing and medicine. The Russians are just terrorists, and they are the sponsors of terrorists because of that. Remember, I haven't heard being called anything like a war crime, for instance, the dropping of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They have a summit, a G7 summit in Hiroshima right now, or this weekend. None of them called it anyway. No, they're all sad about it and crying, but none of them say, wait a minute, I want that guy's term or title changed into a war criminal or mass murderer. As others, Stalin or Hitler or Mao or others, I want that guy's, when we refer to that guy or that guy, be referred the same way. Why not? And if we're not, I don't think that's true. That's not true. That's not honest and fair and just. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.